and welcome to Pluribus Unum's Fireside Chats. Now this is FDR's, but hey, it's something. Now you guys caught me at a bad time. I was just checking out my 200 view video that just came out. I was just watching that. If you haven't watched it, I recommend checking it out here. Wait, hold on. Oh, well, okay. I was a little confused about that because it links to the first video in the playlist, I guess. Regardless, this video came out. Cheers, hooray. Took a while for me to get this video out, but very much enthused with the product. There are a couple of missed opportunities, I guess. There are like a couple of times where the pink stays like a little too long without any fucking visual effects, but that's just kind of like the expected situation that's going on. So regardless, getting right back to work to making on the next videos and the next things. But one thing I will say about this is if you are a patron on my Patreon, then there is one thing that is actually good for you. See, the good thing is that I am now starting a Patreon reaction series where I'll be reacting to and/or season 2 as it comes out. Well, kind of as it comes out. The first 3 episodes are uploaded as of the day I'm recording this, and they're uploaded and they're set to go on a scheduled date. By the time this episode comes out, the first episode will have already been out. I mean, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But regardless, let's get right into the news. First news story coming from Canada. The Canadian elections just happened, and let's just say the situation was pretty interesting. Okay, so Mark Carney obviously won. Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives did well, but they didn't win. The Bloc Québécois lost 10 seats, but the biggest losers of the night were Elizabeth May and Jagmeet Singh. Well, I guess technically Jonathan Pendeldot was the bigger loser of the night because he was supposed to be the face of the Green Party in this election, and the Green Party lost one of their MPs, Mike Maurice, and he lost his race. And Jagmeet Singh, he's obviously the biggest loser of the night because, as you can see, they had 24 seats. Now they have 7. Now they have 7 seats. Lost 17 seats, and as it says right here, he lost re-election in this constituency. Now, it's not that he just lost. That's the problem. He got 3rd place in his own constituency. That is very bad to happen for the situation. That is incredibly bad. And a lot of people have had very different announcements. Let's just check this. Party's worst popular votes results since 2000. He's resigned, obviously. Like, basically, what happened was, hold on, I just want to check this. It's not really that important. I just wanted to see. Green to Conservative. I mean, not Green. Yeah, Green to Conservative. Yeah, Conservatives won that one. There were only a couple of seats that I actually gave a shit about in this election. But none of them went my way. One of them was Jagmeet's race. Didn't turn out so well. One of them was Elizabeth May's seat because I was like, hey, the NDP guy might be the NDP guy. It'd be cool because she's kind of cringe. And then it's like, he didn't win. She's still in. Mike Maurice, he obviously lost. Nikki Ashton, who was the only socialist NDP member that I remember as of yet, she lost the race. And that's pretty bad. And I think I mentioned Jagmeet. It doesn't matter if I mentioned Jagmeet Singh already, but Jagmeet Singh. Oh yeah, and there's also one more race I forgot to mention. Paul Manley. And that race kind of went bad as well because Paul Manley accidentally led to a split vote. So now the fucking Conservatives won that seat. And there are 2 major things that happened. I should mention this. I forgot to mention this. Pierre Poilievre, he lost re-election in his own constituency, and he's facing massive embarrassment because now Pierre Poilievre, one of his own MPs had to resign, and then Pierre Poilievre is immediately going to move to their seat just to be like, I love blah blah blah. And now, this is another sad thing about Canada, is that now it seems that Canada is finally shifting towards a 2-party system with the fall of the NDP. And Jagmeet Singh has failed so bad that he has decided to resign as leader of the NDP. And what's sad is that not only were these two way better candidates, Charlie Angus is good on copyright, Nikki Ashton being a socialist, but they're kind of strung with a little bit who they should have a... Wait, Charlie Angus might run? Holy shit, yes! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I immediately got happy. I'm actually very happy right now. Maybe the NDP will win. You know, I'm just saying it right now. I enthusiastically endorse Charlie Angus for NDP chair. 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%, 100%. With that out of the way, next story. I think, you know what? I take back what I said. NDP's gonna live. I was gonna be really doomer about the NDP, but like NDP's gonna live. If Charlie Angus does it, if Charlie Angus becomes the leader, then they're gonna survive. Anyways, next story. Justice Democrats has launched their first primary challenge in this race, and like this is coming after, of course, they ran mostly defensive in the last cycle, but now it looks like Justice Democrats are back on the offensive, especially with the rising, momentum behind, like, oh, we gotta get rid of the do-nothing Democrats that are currently residing in Congress. And they've made a very interesting choice. Shri Thanedar. Now, Shri Thanedar is a very interesting choice for a number of reasons to me personally. Let me explain why I think Shri Thanedar is a very good choice, is a very interesting choice. Now, of course, if you remember, he's actually used to be a DSA member of Congress, and then he changed his mind after he basically said, he basically signed up to be a member of DSA in the last second just because. But also, it's very interesting because, regardless, but here's the bigger thing that makes it interesting. Okay, so here's Shri Thanedar when he first got elected. Shri Thanedar had to face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candidates. And these 8 candidates, AIPAC endorsed Adam Hollier against fucking Shri Thanedar? Interesting. Anyways, he had to face a huge amount of people in this race, and they all, of course, split the vote so much that it didn't really matter, and Shri Thanedar easily ran into winning. Then, Shri Thanedar again faced multiple opponents. Well, okay, he was going to face at least 4 opponents, then he ended up only facing 2 opponents. And unfortunately, that still didn't end up winning. So a lot of people were putting effort on the idea that in 2026, they could finally get rid of Shri Thanedar by running a singular candidacy in Adam Hollier, the guy who was supposed to run in 2024 and was the top guy in the 2022 cycle. But now, Donovan McKinney has entered the race. This is why I think it's interesting. I think and also like the fact that he's got a lot of prominent endorsements already. I think he's trying to do the thing a lot of Democrats like to do. A lot of Democrats like to do this thing where they jump in a race almost immediately, and then, with that, they kind of slowly step, like what ends up happening is that they're basically trying to get all the other candidates to back off. And this is what's interesting, because at 9 a.m., they announced, Donovan McKinney announced that he was going to be running in the seat. And then, a couple of hours later, after this primary bid was announced, Shri Thanedar announces,
"This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy. But defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive..."
He's announced that he is going to be introducing articles of impeachment against Trump. Now, some people kind of went, oh, this is a bit interesting. I think, like even some people went so far as to say that this might have been a coincidence. But I don't think it's a coincidence because news stories are cropping up. But anyways, Shri Thanedar is getting into a problem because he, like, as House Democrats have stated, they, like, basically Shri Thanedar walked up to them and basically said, hey, I'm going to launch impeachment. I'm going to launch articles of impeachment into it. And then what ended up happening, as it says here, 4 House Democrats who were briefly listed as co-sponsors have all since withdrawn, with some saying they were wrongly believed leadership supported the measure. Like, leadership got mad because Shri Thanedar tricked them into saying that leadership supported his endeavors. And then they're like, no, we don't support his endeavors. And one colleague, and I think the colleague was revealed to be Jerry Nadler, was basically what happened was Shri Thanedar went up to him, and then he said, hey, would you be open to the idea of impeaching Donald Trump? And he said, yeah, of course I'm open to the idea. And then Shri Thanedar took that as an interpretation of, hey, he is endorsing me. He's endorsing this bid, so I'm going to add him as a co-sponsor. And then Jerry Nadler was like, hey, I'm not a co-sponsor of this resolution. And, yeah. It says here, House Intelligence Committee member Jim Himes, was his endeavor taken seriously? I don't think so. There's a long way to go before the concept of impeachment is on the table. Jamie Raskin, one of the loudest anti-Trump people, the fact that people have withdrawn suggests people want to think this carefully. Steve Cohen, who introduced rogue impeachment in trials against Trump in 2017, told Axios there's no question he has committed impeachable offenses, and a fair jury might convict him, but not during the Senate. That's a big missing piece. And that's the thing. Privately, House Democrats have been lawless. This is a self-own that fundamentally undermines our capacity to continue having conversations with people we need to win over, says another House Democrat. Why would we do something that has failed twice as a strategy and yielded no electoral win? The guy got impeached twice. How'd it work out for us? A third told Axios, it seems self-serving and not a genuine effort to rein in the president. Like, yeah, everybody's concluded. Hold on, name dropped. Robert Kelly was under the impression that the resolution was drafted and reviewed by experts from the House Judiciary Committee, which he originally signed on. Rep. Kwesi Mufume removed himself because it was made aware that it was not cleared by House leadership and was not vetted legally, and he preferred to err on the side of caution. Leadership has made it clear they don't support the senior lawmaker, told Axios. That, yeah, this is just blatantly obvious. Yeah, it's Jerry Nadler. To notify staff before adding lawmakers is because members can walk away with a different impression of the conversation. Like, literally, it's just clearly self-serving, and I think Shri Thanedar might be done. I think he might be fucking done. It's fucking interesting. Anyways, let's move on to the next story. I'm just going to move this here just because I want to talk about that first. All right. So first news, like, this is just an interesting thing I wanted to show. I just want to show these videos because we're doing a visual podcast this time, and it's very depressing how things are going. Oh no, wait, we're doing this one first. We got to do this one first. Okay, this one is, of course, the first depressing thing where Tom Homan just immediately just becomes more fascist. I just want to play this clip.
The president signed an executive order just this week threatening to defund sanctuary cities for their policies. Why not just arrest the leaders who are harboring and shielding illegal aliens, actually terrorists, from deportation?
Wait to see what's coming.
So
depressing, but AOC has also immediately jumped on to explain this.
And when we first did one of these seminars, Tom Homan, then acting director of ICE, said that he was going to threaten to refer me to DOJ because I'm using my free speech rights in order to advise people of their constitutionally guaranteed protections. And he may want to do it again today. And to that I say, come for me. You're going to have to come for me. Do I look like I care? Because the way that we guarantee in this moment, when people say, how do we protect against everything that's going on? How do we make sure that what can we do to prevent this erosion, all this stuff that's happening? We do it by exercising and using our constitutional rights. Our rights are use it or lose it. So we need to use it. And we need to challenge them. So don't let them intimidate you into thinking that you're doing something wrong by telling people what their actual legal constitutional rights are. There's nothing wrong about it, and there's nothing illegal about it. And if they want to make it illegal, they can come take me. That's how.
Yeah, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Like, it's at this point. It's at this point. It's just like, yeah. At this point, it's just how it is. At this point, there's not much else I could say to it. It's just so obvious. It's like, this is why I'm ACAB. This is why I think all cops are bastards. This is why I hate people like... This is why I hate these group people. That's why back in 2018 I supported defunding ICE. Abolishing ICE. That's why I supported it. That's why I still support it. Because ultimately, these law enforcement institutions don't care about you. They don't care about protecting citizens. They don't care about protecting people. They want to push for oppression of other people. They are fighting to make sure that people who are in charge are safe, and people who are not in charge are facing problems. It's just depressing. Like, Tom Homan got mad that is mad that AOC is telling people their constitutional rights, and that's the problem. It's the same thing with all those propaganda shows where they're like, the defense attorney is like treated as the villain in basically every single Law and Order episode. Because they're like, oh, they're standing in the way of putting this guy in jail. It's like, this person is literally protecting a person's constitutional rights, and you're getting mad at it. Anyways, let's move on to another depressing news story. Okay, so the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, which is an act that was passed to basically like make criticism of Israel illegal. Interesting. Let's read something interesting think about it. Senate Republicans added an amendment to a bipartisan legislation addressing rising anti-Semitism on college campuses that could be seen as concession to Christian conservatives who want to protect those who preach that Jews killed Jesus. The final language of the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act was posted online Tuesday as ahead of the committee vote. The added language, which referred to as a Mangers Amendment, and proposed by the committee's chair, Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, stated this legislation would not diminish or infringe upon the right protected under the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States, including free exercise of religion. The bill will require the Department of Education to use the controversial International Holocaust Remembrance Allowance of definition of anti-Semitism, which classifies most anti-Zionism as anti-Semitic when investigating allegations of discrimination. It passed in the House last May by an overwhelming 320 to 91, but was stalled in the Senate due to some resistance over constitutionally protected free speech. But as reintroduced in the House, the Democrats who opposed the enshrining the charter definition say that it would be criminalization of criticism of Israel. Of the 11 examples of anti-Semitic speech, 6 have to do with Israel. But for many of the 21 Republicans who voted against it last year, including Marjorie Taylor Greene and former Congressman Matt Gaetz, the problem is an example that says accusing the Jews of deicide is anti-Semitic. The claim that the Jews killed Jesus is widely considered an anti-Semitic falsehood, which is true. Like this is why this is so infuriating, and why I don't take any of this why I don't take this bill seriously. This bill is nothing. This bill is saying criticizing Israel is illegal, but flat out lying about the Jews murdering Jesus Christ, that's allowed. That's why this is bullshit. This is why this bill is fucking bullshit. Oh, you can't criticize a government committing a genocide against children, but you can say an entire religious group murdered a fake magic man from a different religious group. This is why it's stupid. This is why this is so fucking stupid. You can say, like, this is why I can't take any of these people seriously in regards to their bullshit about anti-Semitism. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act says that protesting against Israel, that's bad. That's not protected under free speech. That's evil. That's anti-Semitic. Meanwhile, claiming the Jews killed Jesus, not anti-Semitic. Not anti-Semitic, and you're free to express it. This is why it's so stupid. And this is the funny thing. This is actually going to lead... Apparently, this is leading to more problems. There are a lot of Republicans now. I think Rand Paul openly said that he doesn't support this bill anymore. Or I don't know if he did support this bill at all. He's like, no, this is stupid. The First Amendment is the First Amendment. You can't just say, hey, First Amendment on some things, First Amendment is good on this thing, but not on this thing. It's just infuriating. And why... Again, it's the weaponization of anti-Semitism. And why... why can't take, fucking idiots like Zionists and, all these people seriously? It's like... This is the bill that they're like, oh, yes, we're ready for this bill. But again, it's like, the bill enshrines, you can say the Jews killed Jesus, but you can't say Israel is committing a genocide. And guess what? I don't fucking care. I don't care. They make that illegal? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I ain't not saying shit. You think I care? And this is another thing why it's so why this argument is so stupid. I said this before, and I said this again. This isn't going to, like, make people not protest against Israel. This is not going to make people not talk about Israel. This is not going to make anything like that happen. Which isn't the intention. Of course they don't want to do that. They don't care. They just want to make it easier for people to go to jail. But this is what they're doing. This is the dichotomy that they've been trying to force again. It's like, you can either this is the thing that was used in the past to, like, delegitimize any single person who wanted to criticize Israel. It's like, you could either criticize Israel for the genocide they're committing against the Palestinians, for all the atrocities they've done, for all the bad things they've done, for the ethno-nationalism that they espouse, or you're labeled this dirty word. Ooh. But here's the problem. That is like the dumbest bullshit ever. Like, and a lot of the children nowadays are just like, yeah, what? Wait, hold on. I can either call out people for murdering children, or be labeled this nasty word. And there are a lot of people that are just like, okay, if those are the options you're giving me, like, what do you think is gonna happen? Like, do you seriously think that's not a scary threat? That is not a scary threat, especially nowadays on the internet. Remember, like, dude, there are a lot of people, a lot of young youth that are just openly anti-Semitic now. That didn't happen overnight. And it happened, and part of it happened is because you gave them the false dichotomy of you either are dirty word or you think that it's okay for Israel to murder babies. It's like, what? What? That's not a threat. That's literally not a threat. It's like saying, it's like the thing of the past. It's like, you either think, like, if you even insinuate that maybe we should, like, give money to the poor, then you're a dirty socialist. It's like, okay, what do you think I'm gonna do? Just be like, oh, okay, I guess I don't believe this thing anymore. Dude, that's not how it's work. That's not how it's gonna work. That's not how it's gonna work. It's never how it's gonna work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's bullshit. That's what it is, and that's all this is. This bill is fucking atrocious, and yeah, just immediately, it's okay. Anti-Semitism Awareness Act is criticizing Israel bad. Jews killed Jesus? You could say that. Regardless. Moving on to the next story, and this is a funny news story. Remember this ad from all those years ago? Yeah, as it turns out, the font that is used in the video is pirated. A famous anti-piracy campaign from the early 2000s is a spotlight after it appeared to use a font that the adverts that they're using the adverts were pirated. The dramatic campaign featured you want to a card, appeared in cinemas and the window. But now social media users have discovered the font used in the campaign was pirated from a typeface created by designer Just Van Rossum. Blue Sky user Rib exacted the fronts and discovered the pirated was said by Oh yeah, they basically just admitted like yeah, they basically just took it out and they're just like yeah, it's a pirated font. Like yeah, this is one of the things I find fucking ironic and funny and hilarious. And this isn't the first thing that has happened. I mentioned this before in my piracy good or bad video, where again I don't make any explicit endorsements of the act of piracy or the act of against piracy. I don't make any statements in regards to whether or not piracy is good or bad. I just asked the question. This video is pure. No, this was at the point. This was at the point in the video. Okay, here it is. Bureau of Investigations, and who can of course forget the infamous "you wouldn't steal a car" bumper that was common in the early 2000s.
Which, ironically enough, uses pirated music.
yeah, that one was that it used pirated music. But also there's another thing. If I remember correctly, I can't find a source for this, but I remember for a fact, well, I mean, I guess I can't say for a fact because I can't verify it, but I remember seeing a video where someone claimed that that entire ad was pirated. And you might say, what? What do you mean? Well, yeah. Like, this is what I mean. So, what I remember is this. So, if I remember correctly, this is what the story is. That this advertisement was meant to be shown in theaters. That's all it was meant to do. It was meant to be a theater-exclusive ad. It was not meant to be put on DVDs. It was, the deal exclusively meant that it had to be played in theaters. But then, it became a popular DVD fixture. So, technically, the ad in of itself is pirated. And that is, again, the huge irony. And this is why I posed this question. And, yeah. And I reminder for those who haven't seen this video, a lot more. One side is listed. One side is represented a lot more than the other. But anyways, basically, what is interesting is that, like, again, it's like piracy is stealing. It's a crime. It's theft. It's evil. It's gross. Oh, by the way, we're just gonna pirate this ad now. This is why I can't take it seriously. Those people that are just like, oh, piracy is this evil, bad crime. It's stealing. It's evil. It's gross. It's ooh. Now, to be clear, I'm not calling this out for the sense of like, oh, you wouldn't use a pirated typeface. How dare you? I would never. I'm not critical of people who are using like pirated typefaces, but I'm just saying that I'm just pointing out the irony. I think it's fucking hilarious that, again, it's like, oh, piracy is this evil, gross, disgusting crime. It's evil, it's gross, it's bad, it's gross, ew. And then, again, you're like, it's stealing. Well, let me play the thing.
But is it really? The first defense I'm going to hear a lot of you say is, of course it's bad. It's stealing. Is it?
Is it stealing? Is it stealing really? If it's good enough for them to do, it's good enough for fucking hold on. I can actually I'm gonna play a segment. No, I didn't mean to put it in the full window. I'll play my copyright video. Should have had this on standby, but I didn't know I was gonna use it.
I'm going to go one step further and claim that the entire idea of copyright
here it is.
U.S. copyright law is very clear. Works created by a non-human are public domain. Despite this fact, Slater still tried to make the claim that these photos were his.
Him committing piracy over works made by Naruto.
Wikipedia and TechDirt for posting the picture. Legal under U.S. copyright law, but Warner Brothers is allowed to steal audio from Charlie the Unicorn for
Warner Brothers committing piracy on other works. Fox committing piracy against a YouTuber. Yeah, piracy's so bad, which is why all these big media conglomerates are doing so much media piracy.
I point to you to a very simple song.
Copying is not theft. Stealing a thing leaves one less left. Copying, it makes one thing more. That's what copying's for. Copying is not theft. If I copy yours, you have it too. One for me and one for you. That's what copies can do.
The transphobic rabbits are right, for once. Yeah, I mean, I just want to mention that fact. Like, yeah, those guys are like the person who made that is kind of transphobic now. Regardless, they're kind of cringe now. But there is I mean, it's just fucking funny. It's just fucking hilarious. Like, just that notion. And I want to play this other song. It's a fucking hilarious version of that song. It's a parody of that song. And okay, here it is. I just want to play this clip for you. I just want to play this video for you all. It's funny.
Piracy is so cool. It's been years since Netflix ruled. Back when it was better than free. Now it is dead to me. Hollywood is not good. They have found for the final time. Most of them support genocide. That's why Hollywood died. If you use a VPN, your streaming library will grow. But if you want everything, you just say yo ho ho. Hollywood wastes your time. TikTok has more compassion. Never more am I gonna binge. That's why Hollywood is cringe.
She can't complain. Hold on. He didn't credit her. No, he can't do that. No. Well, regardless. Let's move on to the main topic of this video. I'm going to take the progressive values quiz. Oh, this is a long one. I found a couple more political quizzes that I can do. Progressive values is a political quiz aimed at cultural progressives that attempt to assign percentages for 10 different political points. If you're not a progressive or cultural leftist, this test is obviously not suited for you. What are the 10 values? Moderates to radical. Like radicality, economics, civic, and nation. Wait. Oh, wait. This isn't 10? This isn't 10? What the fuck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 8. I guess there's a hidden one that I might know at the end of this quiz, but regardless, I guess let's just get into it. You'll be presented with a series of statements for each one. Click the button with your opinion on it. Got it. Okay. Society should question every tradition. Okay, that depends on what you mean by tradition. Because to some people, getting vaccinated is a tradition. For the most part, I'll say strongly agree just because I think, traditions for the most part need to be questioned. The workers should own the means of production. Strongly agree. White privilege is real and a pressing concern. Strongly agree. We should focus on ending bigotry in our nation before looking to the rest of the world. Strongly agree, yeah. We do that thing where it's like orientalizing, where it's like, it's a term I've been learning a lot recently thanks to Chris Kunzler, but like orientalizing where we treat other nations as backwards and bad because they don't have our social progress. But then on one end, it's like, we don't have that here. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Disagree. I think people, whatever, like, yeah. Same-sex marriage should be illegal. Strongly agree. Religion is an oppressive hierarchy that deserves no place in public life. Strongly agree. Second and third wave feminism are great continuations of the feminist struggle. I guess I have to do some quick looking at third wave and second wave feminism. Third wave feminism was feminist movement began in the 1990s. It is prominent decades prior to the fourth wave. Grounded in civil rights actions, second wave, third wave. The third wave is traced to Anita Hill's sex issues. Becca Walker. So I guess this third wave would be. Ooh. What's second wave? I forget what second wave is. I mean, I'll say broadly agree. I'm pretty sure I won't go strong. I will not say strongly agree because I'm pretty sure there are criticisms I could give to second or third wave feminism. But broadly, I'd say yes. The existence of a state is inherently anti-progressive and thus must be downsized or eliminated. Strongly disagree. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. Strongly agree. The role of the state should be limited to police, courts, and military. Strongly disagree. The modern progressive movement is not nearly militant enough. I guess I'll say. I guess I'll go with agree. No. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe if he always let it go. I guess I'll just go with... My instinct gut said agree, so I'll just go with agree. Freer markets mean freer people? No. Ideally, businesses should strive to be better than their opponents. I mean... I guess? But it's like, I'm trying to see, like, I guess. But, like, I'm not really a pro-business type. I don't know. We should be accepting of conservative ideas at times, and we should be wary of progress for progress' sake. No. Conservatives have no good ideas, so they're cringe. African Americans should receive reparations for slavery. Agree, but that's because I'm still slightly weary because I don't necessarily know how much modern day African American struggles are directly caused by slavery. I know that a lot of it is, but also there are a lot of African Americans in America that don't have a direct lineage to slavery. So it's a very complex situation. I would be more strongly agree if we went with the thing of like a reparation for just blanket like U.S. white supremacy. If we just blanketly gave them reparations for that, I'd be fine with it. But it's a little bit difficult just with I think African Americans should have received reparations for slavery like immediately after slavery. I think that's 100% guaranteed a fact. I think that should have happened. But nowadays we're kind of so far removed from slavery that having a direct like line of like reparations for that is just a little bit tricky. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who could probably like explain this better to me, but I'll just put slightly agree. We can't allow immigration from culturally conservative nations. Their cultures are oppressive. Disagree? I think I'm going to go so far as to say strongly disagree. Because it's like, think about it. These guys are moving away from the culturally conservative nations. Do you think that might be because of a reason? I'm going to go with strongly disagree, actually. That actually just they're moving away from these culturally conservative movements. And like, even if like let's say they are still somewhat culturally conservative, now they're in the liberal progressive America, and they can have those preconceived notions thrown away. I support vaccine mandates. Strongly agree. Dude, the COVID pandemic made me support full-on vaccine mandates. Literally. And there's some people who are going to be like, but like, come on, you don't believe in like, and they're going to point out like the most dystopian way of like getting a vaccine mandate, like being held down while the person's like shoving the needle in your arm. It's like, dude, I'm basically in favor of that now. You guys fucked up. The one time I asked you guys nicely to get a vaccine, when you guys fucked it up. Rent should be eliminated. Wealth redistribution is a must for modern society. A stateless, classless, moneyless society would be ideal, even if it may not be realistic. It's a good thing they add the even if not realistic. I don't know. I think I'm just a little too... because I even acknowledge some faults. I've acknowledged this fault in sort of like my analysis of other issues, like where I talk about like you people are against copyright law, are against like copyright reform because you're scared. You're scared. It's like, yeah, I'll be real. I'm like slightly scared of a stateless society. I'm slightly scared of it. So, at best I'll have to put neutral or unsure, but I'm leaning towards disagree. I'll put neutral or unsure. The races are better separated, segregation practice in America, etc. The welfare state needs to be downsized or abolished. The struggles of LGBTQ individuals have still not come close to being fully addressed. Absolutely. LGB is enough. Fuck this bullshit, dude. This question is such fucking bullshit. Abolishing currency is desirable. Neutral, unsure, because like I acknowledge that I'm a bit more realistic in my perspective, so I don't really think about like I guess I in a sort of like a snap my fingers type reality where it's like everybody just has their needs met. That's fine, but like I sort of live in reality, unfortunately. The high crimes rate caused by certain racial groups have much more to do with material conditions like poverty and income inequality than they have to do with race. Absolutely. Those with greater ability to pay should receive better healthcare. No. I would hate to have a child who isn't the same race as me. Absolutely not. What the fuck? Capitalism is irredeemable and needs to be dismantled. Yes. Sex work is real work. Absolutely. Hate speech needs to be banned. That's a tricky question. I get some hate speech needs to go bye-bye, but neutral unsure. I've gotten too many perspectives on it, but I'm not sure if it's enough to like push my mind in either direction. I know either way I'm going to answer that question, I'm going to get flack. But and as much as I'm okay with you guys giving me flack, I just don't know. I just don't know at this point. There is no significant difference between the racial groups other than appearance. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yeah. I guess there are some health-related things, but I don't know if those are like necessarily related to like their racial background or if it has to do with like systemic racism and stuff. The United Nations is a net positive for society. I'll put slightly agree, yeah. If they could actually do a lot more, then I'd be fine with it. Climate change is a major concern and danger to humanity. Absolutely. Tariffs on trade should be implemented in order to make all trades in turn favor my nation's favor. I don't know if I agree necessarily with that wording, but I slightly agree because I understand that tariffs are a little bit more complicated than I give them credit for. That might be the topic of the next episode because I'm a little bit tired of seeing a bunch of lefties that are like really, like they're just really anti-tariff now. Climate change is a global struggle. Strongly agree. The Black Lives Matter movement, not the organization, is an important political movement. Hot take. Like, I really hate this fucking, like, thing where, like, people are like, Black Lives Matter movement, not the organization. The organization is the movement, you fucking idiots. The organization is part of the movement, you fucking troglodytes. You idiots. There is no distinction between the two to me. And I strongly agree with both. Nobody's free until everybody's free. Agree. All land must be public. Landlords should not exist. Agree. Gun ownership should be forbidden for those without a valid reason. Well, it depends on what you mean. Everybody can technically have a valid reason for owning a gun. You know, protection. That's a valid reason. But, like, what does that mean? I'll put slightly disagree because it's... Again, it's like slightly complicated. I understand there should be restrictions on gun ownership to an extent. But the idea of, like, I've always had this, I mean, I don't know if I've always had this perspective, but, like, at least to me, like, really, it's just like, it's like you treat guns in the same way you treat drugs to an extent. The stuff that is basically, like, benign, and I know it's, like, weird to say that, like, about guns, like, guns are obviously not benign, but, like, the stuff that's, like a handgun or a shotgun, you know, who cares if you have that? That's, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could still cause damage with a handgun or a shotgun, but, like, the fact of the matter is, they're going to cause less damage than you have with an AR-15. So, I think, like, whatever. Indigenous liberation movements like the Zapatistas are a very good thing. Strongly agree. Yeah, fuck. Like, Viva Zapata! Viva the Zapatistas! Let's go! Many traditions need to be conserved. Strongly disagree. Police are simply bandits who are there to preserve the status quo. Strongly agree. Big government must intervene to protect consumer interests. I guess. But, like, that's just a weird notion, like, big government. That means nothing to me. The term big government, small government means literally nothing to me. Government surveillance is a necessary evil. Neutral and sure. I'm pretty sure I've gone back and forth on this on a lot, but, like, I've seen a lot more, like, things nowadays where I'm like, I think at this point there needs to be, like, some level of, I mean, I guess, like, it's complicated. I think generally, It's difficult. Like, I mean, I've seen like too many video essays where it's like a person like commits a mass shooting, and it's like they were like publicly posting that they were going to do this mass shooting, and then nobody did anything. It's like, huh? I'm starting to think that this like Big Brother is watching us mentality isn't really working out that well. I guess they're too busy using their mentality to like focus on anti-Israel advocates. The nuclear family unit must be preserved. Disagree. I don't really give a shit about the nuclear family. I'm comfortable with the increasing number of interracial couples. Yes. I want to be in an interracial couple, idiots. You fools. I want to be in an interracial couple. You fools. Society should be led by an educated elite, like a team of scientists and experts in various fields. Disagree, because I generally think that it's like I mean, that's just kind of like the way the way things are now. People have that mentality. It's like, we're like the rich, powerful people. I like the ideas of the Italian futurists. I don't know who these fucking losers are. So a bunch of artists, I don't know their ideas. So I guess I have to put neutral and sure. I don't know their ideas. Animals deserve the same rights as humans. I don't think they deserve the same rights, but I don't think they should be like treated like shit. Tricky question, because copyright. The copyright question. Yes. I just remembered, because I literally argued that if Naruto, if copyright exists as it is, and the person who makes it deserves their rights, then I think Naruto deserves all the rights from those fucking selfies. Either that, or you have to acknowledge that they don't have right. I guess I have to put neutral or sure. I don't know. Progress should never be made rapidly. That's a tough question here and there. Like, I mean, we went the slow way in America, and a lot of us are still facing the repercussions of like the bad things that happened during slavery and stuff. So it's like neutral and sure. Hateful marches like neo-Nazi protests should be prohibited. Strongly agree. Like, I'm sorry to say this. It's like, at that point, I don't. Yeah, it's like, but I know what you said like at the beginning. Like, oh, free speech. I thought you said free speech. I don't remember what I said for the fucking free speech question, but like, that's a bit too much. Straight pride is inherently homophobic and transphobic. I mean, the way straight pride actually exists in the modern day is, like, I mean, again, it's like, if a straight dude just openly said that he was just like, I'm just a straight dude and I like being a straight dude, it's like, who cares? But like, the way it is now, like, especially with the super straight movement, it's like fucking like weird. Like, I mean, I guess I totally agree. Absolutely, yeah, let's go. Police are nothing more than guard dogs for capital. Strongly agree. Let's go. The choice to abort is up to the mother. Strongly agree. Religion is very important. Nope. Gender reassignment surgery is a human right. Yes. Capitalism is to blame for many of the forms of oppression that still exist today. Yes. Society was far better now than it was centuries ago. Yeah. Capitalism is the best vehicle for social progress. Military spending has gone overboard and needs to be reduced. Strongly agree. People have the right to consume pornographic material. Absolutely. And I was going to make a joke. Like, put in the comments, guys. Come on, guys. I know a lot of you have been exploiting that right. I think you guys need to get off. I think, based on you guys, I'm going to put strongly disagree. You guys don't deserve that right. Nah, I'm just kidding. International unions simply erode a nation's sovereignty. Neutral or unsure, because it depends. Degeneracy is not a real thing. I guess I have to look up the actual definition of degeneracy. Degeneracy. The straight or property being a degenerate. Wow, that doesn't help at all. Having lost the physical, mental, or moral qualities considered normal and desirable, showing evidence of decline. Broadly agree, because I guess there is some levels of the. I guess I'll put. This is a tricky one, because some people label being gay or trans as being a degenerate, when it's like, no, that's stupid. I guess I'll just put slightly agree because of that. A strong state needs to crush reactionaries. Ooh, you're using the wording that I like. I like this. But But then there's this, and it's like, neutral, unsure. We need to maintain race, gender quotas in workplaces. Agree, at least for the time being. Workers' unions should be more powerful in modern society. No, hold on. I guess I just put agree. Strongly agree. The economy is inherently exploitative against the working class, thus the system is bad. Yes. At least one government bureaucracy is okay. Neutral, unsure. Without government, chaos would ensue. Strongly agree. People should be able to do whatever they want as long as they do not directly harm another person. Yeah, for the most part, yeah. True freedom for marginalized groups can only exist once we abolish all unjust hierarchies, including the state and capitalism. Ooh, kind of. Almost. You almost had me there. The state, I just don't agree with the idea that we should abolish the state. That's just dumb. Because how are you going to enforce the things? That's how you're going to enforce the things. Neutral, unsure, just because of that. Businesses and individuals that support conservatism should be economically punished in some form, either by the community or the state. I mean, I guess vote for with your dollar, I guess. Transhumanism is a step too far. Yeah, because they're like crazy, insane people. All drugs should be decriminalized. Strongly agree. A moderate conservative would be better than a progressive gone overboard. No, I don't. What is a progressive gone overboard? That's stupid. Anarcho-capitalism is a desirable goal. Strongly disagree. Live and let live is a principle we should abide by. Neutral, unsure, just because it's like, I don't know where they want me to go with this question. Because I think live and let live is stupid. Not because I think people shouldn't live and let live. But I think it's like, that is not like, that's promoting an idea of tolerance. I don't want tolerance. I want acceptance for these people. For like gay people and trans people. Neutral, unsure. Absolute freedom in society would be the ideal. Yeah, but what does that mean? I guess. Neutral, unsure. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of press, and freedom of assembly are vital. Yes. Progressives should disavow fanatics and anyone who takes progressivism very far. What does that mean? What does this mean? Progressivism very far. What does this mean? This means nothing to me. They're not giving me an example. I don't know what this means. Progressivism very far. Like, what? What? They're giving, like, what do you mean? Progressivism should disavow fanatics and anybody who takes progressivism. To some people, giving trans people rights is progressivism taking progressivism very far. Some people, giving gay people rights is taking progressivism very far. Some people, giving women rights is taking progressivism very far. That's stupid. Strongly disagree. This is bullshit. All men are created equal should be a principle we should abide by. Yes. The freer the market is, the more innovation is made. Strongly disagree. Quality education is the right of all people. Yes. Legalize physician-assisted suicide. Now, this is a thing that I don't know if I did this in a political quiz before in this year, but I'm actually a little bit. Originally, I would have said something like agree or strongly agree, but now I'm actually leaning towards not necessarily disagree or strongly disagree, but I can't in good faith say agree or strongly agree anymore. And the reason why, it's actually pretty funny. It's because Jeremy Corbyn, explained it in a way that actually made sense to me. And it's like, I mean, on one end, I do believe that some people should have should be allowed. I mean, I'm generally against the idea of suicide. Suicide is, I don't like suicide. Suicide is not an ideal way to go. But I also understand, there's some people that's you can, of course, I could paint, the obvious, scary picture of, a guy who's 100% going to die, and he's going to have a very terrible death, and it's going to hurt, it's going to be painful, and blah, blah, blah. I can paint that thing. It's yeah, in that particular situation, yeah, maybe he should be allowed to kill himself. But then we also have another perspective, where it's especially with the system we have now. The current system we have now has, the current system we have now is one that we live in a medical system that wants people to take the easiest way out, the cheapest way out, essentially. And to a lot of people, the cheapest way out is literally just kill yourself. That's literally it. I guarantee there's going to be a lot of situations like we could waste all this time and resources to potentially save you from this cancer. But also, I think we're just going to suggest that you kill yourself. So for this one, I have to put neutral and sure. I don't know. The struggle for liberation is intersectional. Absolutely. Freedom of sexual identity is a human right. Strongly agree. Progressive values only matter for freeing my own race from oppression. No. I want to free every race from oppression. Many rich people earn their wealth rightfully, so they should be allowed to keep it. No. Modern feminism is misandry. No. Abolish all national borders. Broadly, yes. Regional unions such as the European Union are for the betterment of the nation. Neutral and sure. I don't know the full ins and outs of the fucking EU, so it's like I don't really know. But like I don't really care about that. TERFs hold progressives back. Strongly agree. Progressives should try to be more accepting for those who are culturally centrist. No. No, we should still we gotta push them. We gotta push them to our side. Like, I don't care. Push you to our side. Ultra progressives and SJWs do nothing but discredit progressivism. Wrong. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Like SJWs. Remember, I made a fucking 4-hour video where I talked about how SJWs were original. Like the premise was a person made a video game where a person was sad and depressed and wanted to kill themselves, and that's what led to fucking social justice warriors. No, I don't care. I think, I reject these notions. I reject these notions wholeheartedly. Strongly disagree. The market can regulate itself sufficiently. Wrong. Abolish the IRS. I think, it's gonna be a tough one. I know the IRS can have some cringe moments, but, does the IRS actually provide an actual good service? I guess we have to ask that question. I'll put slightly disagree, because whatever. My nation's interests always come first. I also slightly America-centric of me, but slightly agree. We should have open borders, if any. I think I said an open border question earlier. Slightly agree, yeah. Broadly, I don't really care about, I think we should have less stringent border restriction at this point. People will just say, I'm for open borders, I don't care. Free market capitalism is necessary in the progressive movement. No. I'm willing to side with my nation, even if it contradicts my own values. No, disagree. That also depends on what do you mean by that, but broadly disagree. We should try and make alliances with other nations, even if it may harm national sovereignty. Yeah, we should make alliances. We should, hold on, let me think. Because, do they mean military alliances? Do they mean economic alliances? Do they mean diplomatic alliances? I think broadly we should make some alliances. But I don't think we should, I don't think we should, give up entirely the national sovereignty. If we have a alliance with Britain, fucking France or Spain, and they all three say hey, America, we want you to kill every firstborn or whatever, and it's no, we're not gonna do that. Free association in the economy is best. What does that mean? What does free association for the economy mean? I guess I have to put neutral and sure. I don't really know. The profit motive should not be suppressed. Disagree. I don't really give a shit about the profit motive. Private property is a bulwark of society. No. A united world government would be ideal. No. Anarchy would not protect minorities. I strongly agree. I'd rather experience anarchy than full-blown military dictatorship. Yeah. Yeah. I support taxing harmful addictive substances significantly more than normal items. Nope. And I'll explain why. Cigarette taxes are just a tax on the poor. If they are progressive, tough laws and a strict court system would be good for society. But I don't think a tough laws and strict court system would necessarily be good for society. I don't think that's necessarily progressive. So I guess I'll put disagree, I guess. Alright, so I'm going to close my eyes and then wait for it to load. 3, 2, 1. All right. Radicality access intersectional. 88% intersectional. 12% moderate. Economic access socialist. 80.9% socialist. 19.1% capitalist. I think it's a bit too friendly. Civics access balanced. Authoritarian. Libertarian. All right. Nation access. 56% globalist. 44% nationalist. And my closest match is Luxembourgism. Okay. I don't even really like Rosa Luxemburg that much. But like again, it's giving me, it said 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. Okay. I guess I'm a Luxembourgist, apparently. Alright. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell to notify future video when it comes out. And if you want more content from me, consider supporting me on Patreon.